Our afternoon fireside chat. And once again, I'm Zahava Stroud of iHollywood Forum. We're pleased to have you all here. I want to tell you about the schedule for the day. We will be having, after this session, a breakout session, and then we'll be back in this room for some great demos from 3 to 4 of launch companies. And we carefully selected and screened some of the top, most interesting emerging technology mobile companies for you to see, which will then be having a panel of judges commenting, and we will be voting as an audience of who you like best. At 5:40, we have a focus group, so we hope you all come back for this. This is consumers we select from the community of Los Angeles, and it's, for some of you, your only chance to talk to actual consumers who use mobile phones. Moderated by John Huffman of Real Hip Hop, and you'll hear what they like, what they don't like, what applications they like, what they're looking for on their phones. After that, we have a cocktail reception and a full networking dinner, so you're all invited for. And our special guest is Mr. Yingbo Chu. Are you in the room, Mr. Chu? He's here right now. Mr. Chu is the chief advisor for China Telecom. This is a very rare opportunity if you want to do a deal with China Telecom, which has about 400 million handset users. We're fortunate, it is the second time that he has come to our event, and he is looking for U.S. content, technology, applications, and Hollywood content. So to do deals with U.S. companies. And we have arranged meetings. If you haven't done so, you can find the front desk and ask to have a meeting with him. And if he has time, he'll be here today and tomorrow. He's happy to set up a meeting with you if you want to do deals in China. Then after that, if you still have energy, we have an after party at Moon Nightclub. We will be passing out flyers up front with the directions, which is from 8:30 to 11. There's a lot of LA people there. There's some kind of Playboy party going on and a lot of glamour things going on, and after parties for American Idol. So there'll be you and about 500 other people, but it's a fun club to go to experience a little bit of the LA lifestyle. So everybody is invited to that club. There's no cover, and the first 50 people who come from our event will get drink tickets. So that's the day for the day. And right now, I'd like to introduce Michael to introduce our speaker. Where'd he go? Where'd Michael go? Michael? What happened to Michael? Okay, we're going to track him down. On the back of your program are upcoming events. I want to mention a few. We're now booking speakers, which you can do through our office. June 11th in LA, we're having a dinner on social media for both mobile and digital. So we're looking for a speaker from mobile, social media, or user-generated content on mobile phones. So see me or contact our office if you're interested in speaking at that event. Then we have a digital media venture forum in July 17th for both mobile and digital media ventures who are looking for funds. And in LA, here in Hollywood on July 19th, we're having a conference on search and discovery for media and Hollywood, and mobile and digital will be a focus. So we're booking speakers at all those events, and in August, we're going to China. And we're doing a co-located conference with the largest broadcast TV conference in China on mobile and digital. So if anyone's looking to speak in China, we're looking for people that as well. Okay, no, thanks.
Okay. All right. Started with our afternoon program here. Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to look at an area that I think is not discussed enough, but is absolutely critical to the development of any credible mobile entertainment in the United States, and that is search. And we're going to talk to somebody who is better placed than practically anybody else to know exactly what customers are looking for in mobile search, and that's David Okamoto of AT&T, Beyond Media Net. How many of you are familiar with that as of now? Well, you've got a virgin audience then. I'm not going to go into about what it is, except to tell you that it is very search-oriented. It is all about search. And David has a long history of working with mobile providers and maximizing the user experience with mobile devices. He worked with a company that helped perfect T9 predictive text input for mobile phones, also helped in the development of Microsoft's mobile platform, so knows all about this stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to allow David to give a quick presentation on exactly what Beyond Media Net is, and then we'll go into a fireside chat, and then we'll leave it open for your comments and questions at the end. Okay, David, I assume you can just step right up to the podium.
Okay. Thank you, Michael, for the intro, and welcome everyone. Hopefully lunch was good, and I'll try to keep you awake for this presentation. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background of the Beyond Media Net program, which is what Michael was referring to. Just a little background on myself. Again, my name is Dave Okamoto. I'm from AT&T Mobility and actually represent the consumer data division. My team actually works on the data developer program. So we work with a combination of mobile developers and content providers who are creating mobile applications for mobile devices. And so our team really helps support the developers and content providers with anything from tools and resources to make those development efforts a lot more easier. So what I wanted to give a quick intro on, again, was a little background on search, as well as, again, just diving into what Beyond Media Net is. So just a quick background here. There was a recent study by iCrossing last month that captured some pretty interesting stats on the emergence of the mobile web, as well as the emergence of mobile search. Why is search taking off? Why is the mobile web exploding right now? Well, obviously, again, a majority of handsets these days that are launching are, majority of them are web ready right out of the box. Again, the online giants, the Googles, Yahoos, MSNs of the world, they're really starting to push, both mobile search, mobile discovering mobile content, as well as getting into advertising. And as the study shows, search is definitely leading the way. Their report had approximately 30% of people accessing the mobile web out of all the current mobile users. And of those 30%, about half of them are accessing the mobile web multiple times per week, and 3/4 of them conducting mobile searches on a regular basis as well. So again, we're only really scratching the surface today. Fast forward 12 to 18 months, and we really see search exploding. So to continue on some of the stats that iCrossing found, again, it was a no-brainer that search is the #1 activity currently on the mobile web. Again, maps and directions, weather, and local info were definitely the topics that people were gravitating towards as far as search. Now, from my perspective, it's interesting because I get to see the search logs and what all you guys are searching out for on a mobile device, and interspersed between the map sections, weather and local information are some pretty fun topics there. But what else here? So one of their other key findings that they found was that end users really expect that or what was it, 84% of people that are searching, again, expect the content that they visit frequently on the wired web to have a similar or a scaled down mobile version of that content. And again, from my team's perspective, we've seen healthy growth in the mobile search space month over month. So here I just wanted to quickly go over some of the current go-to-market options for content providers and developers for engaging with AT&T. And many of you are probably aware of these channels. So initially here, Singular Mall, which is our mobile storefront. It's where people can download ringtones, games, videos, images, etc. Again, that's our mobile storefront, our vending machine, if you will. We do have a select number of providers who are feeding content to the mall. It's a pretty select group right now. We also have MediaNet, which is AT&T's consumer portal, and that's more of the informational portal, which brings some of the mainstream content providers, the familiar faces like CNNs and ESPNs of the world, the Weather Channel. This channel is where we do have a dedicated staff that is supporting just a handful of top content providers that are feeding content to the mall. And so we do realize that going to market via either of these two channels can be somewhat of a challenge. So we obviously recognize that, and we want to provide another channel, another go-to-market channel for developers to get their application discovered via search on MediaNet. And that's this third screenshot here, which is the Beyond MediaNet program. And what Beyond MediaNet really focuses on is, again, the emergence of search and leveraging search as a mechanism for getting your content discoverable, from AT&T's subscriber base. We do realize that there's millions upon millions of queries that people are performing on a monthly basis, and we realize that there's only so much that our providers can provide. We still have the long tail of content that is of great interest to a lot of consumers out there. And so the Beyond MediaNet program is really, again, allowing a more, what I like to say, a more quicker and inexpensive path to bring your application to market. We have a very straightforward process for onboarding your application or your mobile website. I'll get into the process a little later. And then finally, off-portal, which is a lot of what a lot of you may be doing, a lot of direct-to-consumer marketing, a lot of short code promotions, marketing via MMS, or can access content via triple tapping URLs directly into the mobile browser. So just to recap, again, the Beyond MediaNet program, we look at it as another go-to-market channel for content providers and developers. We're always looking for a combination of both WAP, so mobile website content, as well as mobile consumable or premium downloadable content as well. This content we're looking for is, obviously looking for unique content, so content that doesn't already reside within Media Mall or MediaNet. So again, the long tail of content is ideal for us. And through the program, you'll also receive direct billing, Singular and AT&T's billing platform. And kind of the net of it is I look at this program as being, I like to use a sports analogy, as more of our farm team or the minor leagues to the big leagues being MediaNet and Media Mall. So if you go down this simple go-to-market path beyond MediaNet, get your application discovered, start performing well, batting over 300, hitting 30 home runs or whatever in the beyond MediaNet search world, then you'll certainly be on the radar of our content team, which manages content acquisition for our on-deck properties. Quickly, I just wanted to show you a few quick screenshots of how MediaNet search application works. In this example, this is our MediaNet homepage. We have the search box at the very top of the page, and the user example here is someone is searching for information about the city of Boston. So the second shot is our search results page, which is a combination of content that's coming in from both our on-deck sources, so MediaNet and Media Mall, as well as our off-deck sources, which is beyond MediaNet. We've actually partnered on the Beyond side with JumpTap, a mobile search engine provider, who is managing our off-deck mobile search index, and their team they're performing audits and reviews of the content that we forward onto into search to make sure that it meets our content guidelines, that it's appropriate, that it's not too risque. And let me see here. So this third example is just showing there's different categories. People can go to mobile-friendly sites, ringtones, videos, pictures, images, games. And again, in this example, they're searching for off-deck content. I think this example has Boston.com, which is not an on-deck provider, but they're a very good source of off-deck content for the New England area. So that's just a quick snapshot of how people actually discover content. So actually, I think I'll just skip this slide.
Okay. So how many people here would like it if in the future we got a nice plasma set with a roaring fire, and you can imagine that can't bring a real fire in here. Had enough trouble with the fire marshals. Well, thank you, David. That helps, and it gives us a good sense here of what you guys are doing. Well, let me ask the obvious question: how well is this being utilized? How is it? How many people are using it currently, and what are your projections?
So, to be quite honest with you, Michael, what we're doing right now is, since I represent the developer program team,
Right.
we're looking at this more as an enabler.
Right.
So we really want to open this up to content developers who, we realize it can be a challenge to get your application on deck. And so, again, this opportunity is hopefully welcoming enough and a strong enough path to go down. As far as projections, we realize that if we provide more choice to our subscriber base, improve their experience, bring more relevant content to fulfill what people are actually searching for, then that's only going to trickle down to the bottom line. So no actual hardcore numbers that we have, but it's really just more focusing on the user experience and improving search in general.
I more or less expected that, but I figured I'd ask anyway. So the obvious question here is that Google, Yahoo, the other major search engines are getting into this space, obviously, in a big way as well. So you could have just partnered with them, right, to go forward with this. Or, to put it another way, consumers have the option of going to those search engines anyway. Why will they be attracted to your solution? So
so that's the million-dollar question here. So we've been taking more of a blended approach here, where we obviously can't ignore the Googles and Yahoos of the world. Again, in looking at our search logs, we do see that people are entering, keyword Google or Yahoo to actually find their mobile version of their applications. When I say blended approach, so we still have our own carrier-branded solution in which we're able to manage the content within our walled garden, bring to light or help merchandise content within the mall, again, content within Beyond MediaNet, as well as our on-deck content from MediaNet. We do also include links directly to these other big players as well,
right.
So that people can easily, within a couple of clicks, get to those destinations. Again, at the end of the day, they're driving data consumption as well. But fast forward 12 to 18 months from now, the landscape may change or will change. We're constantly reviewing, how things are going.
Can you explain, especially for the sake of those people who are coming from outside the country, how it works for a search engine like, say, Google or Yahoo? If someone goes to a Google or Yahoo and does a mobile search, other than the obvious usage of data, does AT&T benefit in any way from that?
So yeah, bottom line, yes, because of the use of data.
Because of the use of data, but that's really the only way, right, that you would benefit, as opposed to kind of an in-house solution which provides the combination of visibility for a company than they might get in Yahoo or Google, right, with an opportunity for you to be a part of the process, kind of a blended off-deck, on-deck experience, right?
Correct.
Right. So, but in the Google end of the Google world, they're kind of operating in their own world, right, without your involvement, right?
Yeah. So we've been in discussions with everyone. We want to keep our finger on the pulse of what people's offerings are, and we're open. I think we're a ways away from really solidifying our overall search strategy. There's still a lot of things that need to come together, but we're definitely taking, I don't want to say baby steps every day to help improve the overall search experience.
Do you have any sense then as to whether other I mean, or any instinct as to whether other carriers are going to move in this direction? Is this inevitable, where people develop their own proprietary search engines? Is this the direction that mobile is going?
That's a question. I mean, you'll see press releases all the time in this industry. I guess depending on the region, you'll see a lot of, again, we've been working with a combination of Jump Tap to support our off-deck offering. We work with InfoSpace as well to support our core search application. Other carriers in North America are doing a little bit of the same. Carriers overseas have taken, I think, a little bit more of they've taken the bigger or the quicker leap of faith and started to go to the Googles and Yahoos of the world. Right. And I guess it's a matter of time right now to really tell what the impact has been over the past 6 to 12 months on what's working, what's not working.
We have talked quite a bit thus far about on-deck versus off-deck experiences, and the theme that comes through, not just this conference, but pretty much every conference we've done, is when in the world is the United States market going to open up to an off-deck market like the ones that exist in Europe and Asia, with the whole assumption being that if the carriers would simply loosen their grip on the mobile web, yeah, they'd get a smaller piece of the pie, but there would be a much bigger pie. And I wonder, to what degree is your solution here, is this a move in that direction?
It's definitely a move to really embrace off-deck content. We realize it's the old 80-20 rule of the long tail. People, I mean, that's what search is about on the wired web right now. It's people want to find, they love content from, trusted sources, but they're always looking for the next greatest thing, the next best application that's out there. But yeah, our offering is really, so even though we're taking a conservative approach in that we are reviewing content that we're onboarding into search, what I've heard in the industry is that it is a big step, from carriers right now. So the fact that we're embracing it, that we're actively seeking off-deck content to supplement our on-deck offering.
It's a big step.
Yeah.
It's a big step. And one final question, then I'm going to allow people in the audience, if they have any questions, to ask. We've also been talking quite a bit about convergence, and I realize this isn't also your specific area, but obviously AT&T is moving very strongly in IPTV, and in the broadband internet and so forth. So does this same concept extend across multiple platforms, or is there a thought about how it can be integrated to maximize the reach of an individual's search capabilities?
Good question. It probably is outside of my realm. I mean, we do have a whole slew of people working on our 3-screen strategy right now.
Right.
And I'm sure search is definitely
part of it. But if you don't know about it, chances are they're not integrating your capability yet, I would think. Okay, so if we have any questions, we can take a few, and if I could have the next panel beginning to come up too. So, do we have any questions here? Okay. And if you wouldn't mind just identifying yourself too.
Rob Reardon with Cellcom. We're also a carrier. Are you anticipating that this is your initiative with the searching and setting up, basically it sounds like a little bit of a metadata package, if you will, to help the search? Are you trying to develop a standard as Sprint did with some of the stuff they were doing earlier, or are you anticipating this is just a service that AT&T would provide, or Singular?
That's a good question. We're looking at it from more of an AT&T perspective. Really, again, my team manages our consumer data developer program, so it was really aimed at reaching out to our developer community to offer them another channel for going to market.
Okay. Any more questions from the audience? You're all stupefied by your lunches. And we didn't even provide any alcohol for you. Any more questions? Huh? That comes later, that's true. There is the after party, don't forget that. This evening, that's a chance to recover from your day here. We have an after party at Mood. Okay, let's give David a big hand. Okay, so why don't we just break for about 2 minutes, just long enough to get our next panel situated. We'll be underway. Give us just about a minute or two, and then we'll be underway.